this is more geared towards women. With how much women show, they don't necessarily want to, I guess, back what they're showing as far as sex is related. Yes, this is going to be one of those videos where we talk about sex and dating. So if you're not comfortable with that, then this is not the video for you. But yeah, so basically, I guess like we put everything on display, and then I thought it was a wasp. I've been stung before, so I get a little nervous. Basically, just for how much we show, we won't actually like offer it up. It's just, I guess, all for show. And then we want, you know, commitment, whereas there's other, I guess you could say, cultures where it's more acceptable if you were to, let's say, have sex early on, or even just do casual sex. So friends with benefits, not necessarily, oh, we have to be in a relationship. To me, I've heard things like about, let's say, people in Brazil, like it's okay to have sex on the first date. I've also heard this about Norwegians. In Germany, I didn't really hear anything about sex on the first date per se, but I did hear that Germans tend to move slower, and they tend to get married later in life, rather like closer to 30, if not after 30, where we get married like early 20s, sometimes as teenagers. And if you're 30 and you're still unmarried, then that's like a problem. You are unwanted goods. Like, people want you to start settling down pretty early on, like we're talking like mid-20s. So I think I met two people. Okay, one was a grandma, and she was showing me photos of her granddaughter, and her granddaughter was about to get married. And you know, I asked, you know, how old were they? And you know, I think the granddaughter was like 31, and I'm assuming the groom was, you know, close in age to that. And then there was another person I met where her and her husband, they had met in their 20s, but they didn't end up actually getting married until like you know, sometime in their 30s, and then that's when they also started having their family. So it's like, already I could see how, if we're comparing Germany to the US, how, yeah, we definitely do these things quicker. And so I just had like, I'm bringing this up because it obviously relates to my personal life. And I went on a couple dates a couple weeks ago, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and you know, something happened, and it's very much on my mind, so why not talk about it? And so basically, we had a good date and everything. And so before, like, I met him on a dating website, and before, you know, our date, we had like been talking for like maybe like a week and a half or so, and like every day he would like FaceTime me. So the first date, I felt, you know, nervous but like pretty comfortable because I had gotten to know him, and he FaceTimed every day. So after the date, we are in his truck, and he just basically, he was more comfortable than I was. Well, let's just put it that way. He was way more comfortable than I was. So to some people, kissing on the first date, like it could offend her, because like she could think that like you think she's easy, or that, oh, I'm just gonna get sex from this girl. And then, you know, other people are like completely fine with it. To me, this has nothing to do with being American or not. I think it just depends on the person's comfort level and also how you met them. So if you're, to me, if you're meeting like off of a dating website you've never met before, then maybe kissing on the first date could come off as weird. So in the past, I've had a guy try to kiss me on the first date. Actually, he did. It was our first time meeting because we had met online. And so to me, that was just like, I was still getting to know him. So like, to me, it wasn't just like, oh, we're talking about like a whole lot of sexual stuff and then we're gonna meet up. Like, no, we like, you know, we kept the conversation, you know, devoid of sexual innuendos. And you know, my mind still wasn't made up on how I felt about it, basically. So I wasn't completely set on, I don't know, I just wasn't, I just thought like, oh wow, he's really comfortable with me, and I wasn't very comfortable with him, basically, even though he was really, really attractive. So, you know, this guy, he asks me something about kissing on the first date, how I felt about it. And, you know, I was just like, I told him basically what I just told you guys. Like, it's sometimes like it comes off as wrong because like you just met this person. So it's like, you know, after the date ended, when we're in his truck, like he still basically kept on trying to kiss me. And so like I kept on pushing him away, and you know, eventually after I think the 4th or 5th try, like he was successful. I did give in, but like it was just, that was the first thing. The second thing was like he was trying to put his hands like up my skirt, or I was wearing a dress, so up my dress. And like, so I think like, okay, first time meeting someone, maybe touching their thigh, okay, that's fine. You know, obviously, like when we sat down at the table when we were having dinner, like it was a table for two, but like the one back, so one side of the table, they had one of those bench seats where you could fit two people, and then like it had pillows and things like that, and then the other was like a regular chair. So when we sat down, like I invited him to come sit next to me because I want to be close, okay? But like I know some people, like they get laughed at for, you know, couples in public like have to like sit like right up next to each other, but like to me, like I don't know, I want to be close. So like I did kind of make the first move towards touching him, even though it's just like, you know, we're just like sitting together, so obviously like our arms are touching and our thighs are touching and everything. And eventually he did put his arm around me, so I guess I did open myself up for that. But as far as like, it's like if you're trying to go up someone's dress or someone's skirt, it's like depending on how far up you're going, like that's where I get weird. So it's like obviously if it's like mid-thigh or below on a first day, like I don't see a problem with that. But like I don't know why I'm explaining myself. Okay, I guess I do. I was watching this German show, and they made a joke about Americans, like Americans are so prudish. So I guess that's why I'm just like going into detail. I'm trying to claim that I'm not a prude. But anyways, he was doing too much too fast, and so like, you know, I kept on hair my lip gloss. I kept on, you know, kind of pushing him away, whatnot. And then, you know, I just told him like I wasn't comfortable with that, though he didn't seem to completely care, which sucked because like as a person, like I really like him, but like that like kind of like turned me off from the date a bit. We did end up going on 2 other dates. So this guy, first off, he comes right off the bat saying that he is looking to get married. He does want to expand his family, you know, even how many kids he wants and everything like that. So he is dating for marriage and he wants something serious. And so like I knew this right off the bat. Like we had already talked about this the first date. We had also talked about both of our histories, like with long-term relationships, how those relationships ended, and just everything. So, you know, we did go into detail about all those things. I don't know if that is normal for other countries, if you guys talk about kids, how many kids you want. I did not bring this up. He did. And I've noticed with other American men, they have usually brought stuff up like that as well. So it's not always the female who's like talking about like marriage and kids. But just because you talk about that with someone does not mean that like you necessarily want that with that person. You're just kind of telling them what your intentions are and that you're not looking for a hookup or whatnot, which is cool. Like you should tell someone what you want and what do you expect out of this. Second date, I opened up a bit more as far as physically, but I still wasn't okay with like his hands like going down like all the way up, like all the way up my skirt. Like that was too much for me. But yeah, he was really aggressive is what I'm trying to say, sexually, not physically. But it was just like, to me, I just wish he would have just like slowed down a bit. But at the same time, I don't know if that's me being a prude or not. And it wasn't even because like he asked me if I even found him attractive. I was like, yes. So I guess like I don't know guys, I don't know. So let's jump to the third date. So the third date, I'm actually at his house, which I should have known right off the bat. Probably shouldn't have went to his house. We probably should have kept this somewhere social. So I get to his house, and right away we walk past the living room, and the bedroom, the master bedroom, is right there off the living room. Okay, so most American homes, they're open floor plans, so you don't have to go through a series of doors or long hallways to get to the rooms. Like they're usually right off of the main area, so you can see the kitchen, you can see the living room, you can see the back porch, and then you could see the door for like, you know, the bedrooms. So, you know, he went straight to the back to his bedroom, and then he sat down on the bed. I didn't go in. I just like, I kind of stood there. So like, you don't want to sit on the couch, watch a movie, whatever. And you know, he kind of pushed back, but eventually I got my way. We got to go sit on the sofa. I was like, dang, if he acts a fool when we're just like sitting side by side in like a vehicle with like a console in between us, like I can imagine what he's going to do if I let him. We're already in his domain. Like this is his territory, this is his comfort zone. This is not my comfort zone. I've never been here before, and like I don't want to go straight to your freaking bed. and in no way during the time that like we're talking am I like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and this and this and to you. Like I'm not coming off as a tease or anything like that. And when I do touch him, when I do kiss him, I am mindful not to push it, because like I don't I don't want to start anything I can't finish, basically, is what I'm saying. So to me, I'm not giving him any vibes like that I expect us to go in his bedroom and lay down in his bed. And I already knew what was up. I already knew what was up. So obviously I know I'm not here just to watch the movie, but I'm also not here for sex either. And as things are heating up and we're kissing and whatnot, like, he tries doing more. Okay, basically, I won't beat around the bush. He just pulls down his pants. Whips it out. And like, I was just, you know, I don't want to give off that I'm going to do something that I know I'm not going to do. Cause like, I still haven't like sussed this guy out yet. Like, to me, we're still in the get to know you phase. So I think making out with him, I was fine with that. Cuddling him, spooning with him, I'm fine with that. Cause like, I generally like being close to him, but like, I don't think you have to like take it out just yet. That's just me. That's just me. I would have rather felt more comfortable with him and like I got to know him better. And some people are just like that. Some people, they can jump right into it first meeting, or maybe even like the second meeting, and then other people, it's like the more comfortable we get, the more we like, we're ourselves and we don't hold back. But I was very much not entirely myself. I was still a little bit intimidated. Everything is out and ready to go, by the way. I am not doing anything to facilitate that. Like, yes, we're spooning, yes, we are kissing and whatnot, but my hands are behaving themselves. Like, I'm behaving myself, because I'm not going to turn someone on just to be like, no, you know what I mean? So, but for some reason he just was anyways, which is fine. What I wasn't ready for was the pushback, the blowback I was going to get because I made him put his shorts back on. Like, basically we had to have a talk. It starts to talk by, I don't want to waste my time. I want something serious. Like, I'm ready to start having kids. No, I'm ready to, like, you know, start my family and get married. And, you know, if you're just here just to hang out, like, what do you want? We're still getting to know each other. Like, what the hell? I wasn't ready for this. Basically, he's telling me that I'm wasting his time because I wanted him to put his pants back on. But he already knew that I wasn't gonna, you know, be comfortable with that anyways. And he already told me, like, so he's one of those people where he'll be like, okay, I'll behave myself. Right, I won't touch you unless you want me to and whatnot. It's the ball is in your court. He'll say that, and then 5 minutes later, he's back on top of me, literally. Like, so he's one of those. It's like kind of gaslighting. I'm not really doing anything wrong. I'm the one wasting his time. Anyways, it was just one of those things. He ended up calling me a nun. He called me a nun. I guess there's worse things to be called, but I was just like, goodness gracious, like, could we just get to know each other? I think, I don't know. I already kind of knew he was going to be a little, I don't want to say, okay, I called him a dog. Literally, I called him a dog because I told him what I had heard about dating people who he's a part of the police force. And so I told him what I had heard, that they are fast and can be dogs in that aspect, in that area of, you know, women. Kind of like what they say about military men, or I'm sure you guys know, like, people in the medical field, some nurses and doctors, they are pretty like handsy as well. Like, if you're dating them, like, they're ready to go like right away. And then other people from other jobs are, you know, they're kind of chilled. Like, they're not as sexually aggressive is the word, because like, it's fine to be really horny and to try, because like, think about it, if you don't shoot your shot, how will you ever get anywhere with someone? Like, you know, you have to go for it. But my thing is, after the person has told you no, and they're like telling you no, like, we're talking about 3, 4, 5 times, it's just like they will keep on. And so basically what they say is true in that regard. And so, you know, so yeah, I called him a dog. I mean, he took it fine. So in this case, I could kind of see how I maybe should not have even agreed to meeting at his house. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so you can't be close to someone, you can't make out with them, you can't cuddle them, you can't do all of that stuff if you're not willing to have sex with them. And just, to me, it's just like, don't you, like, the more comfortable you get, the more you do. So like, if you just really aren't comfortable going into all of that, then like, I don't know, maybe I am the prude in this case. But another funny thing, and this is just in general, guys, in general, American men, if they could get married and if you agree, like, they would do it without you guys even dating within a year. I had one, obviously I left the relationship, or we would be married right now, but you know, he wanted to get engaged and we had only been dating for a couple months. And so basically we would argue, because I would say, yes, I can see us getting married, like, yes, I do see it, and like, I do agree with you, but I do not think that we should get engaged and then start planning our wedding right away. And then we got into an argument because, like, not only had we not been dating for a year, I wanted to also be engaged, so like, for a year. So even though like we weren't dating for a year, as soon as he proposed, basically from that point on, I would take that time, whatever, and we would just be engaged, and then we would start planning our wedding. And like, he just wanted to do it like right away. And then so that was one relationship. This was a couple years back, maybe 3 years back. And then I had another one maybe 2 years back where it was much the same thing. We had been dating for a couple months, and then, you know, start meeting like the family and stuff like that, and then we start talking about marriage, and then he started talking about moving in, and I wasn't comfortable with moving in. And so I wanted to be closer to him because he did live like an hour or two away from me. So like, I did want to be closer to him, but I did not, even if I was going to move to the exact same city as he was, I didn't want to move in with him. And all of these people that I'm talking about right now, they all own their own home. Okay, so some of them, so the one guy, the cop that I just went on the couple dates with the other week ago, he was married before, so he's not the product of divorce, but anyways, you know, he's been divorced probably maybe a little over a year and whatnot. So it's like, I can understand why he owns his home, but the other guys, you know, it's like, they, as single men, will go and just like buy a home. And like, to me, isn't that something that you're supposed to do with your future wife? Like, wouldn't you just like save your money and get something smaller, like rent out an apartment or a townhome or something small? When you're ready to get married, you and that person, like, you go pick it out. So it's just like, a lot of these American men, like, you'll notice, like, they have everything already set up, and they're just looking to take whatever girl's going to agree and just put her like right in that little slot. Like, okay, here's the house, here's the car, here's everything, and then you just say yes. And like, I don't know, it just kind of gives the idea, like, doesn't really matter who it is, just, you know, be agreeable, and you know, you're fine. Just as a kid, I would have never guessed that as an adult I would be getting into arguments with like guys that I'm in serious relationships with over moving in like too quickly, like after only having dated like for a couple months, or at what point should we get married? Like, why should there be an argument at all? I mean, it can be a disagreement, but like, I've literally had relationships fall apart because of that. And I'm not sure if it looks like, oh, this person's afraid of commitment. It should just be like common sense. We've been dating for a few months. I like playing house with you on the weekends. I like, you know, I like that a lot. And everything else in a relationship. But like, why is that an issue? So one of the things that I liked in Germany was that, you know, meeting these different people, and most of them are getting married in their 30s, just like, yeah, that's how it should be. As far as like the sex thing, I don't know. Obviously, it usually isn't an issue. I've never really had the issue where like someone, you know, got angry or upset because I would not have sex with them right away. You know, usually like we just both get to a point where like we're really comfortable with each other, and like naturally it happens. And like, I don't believe that there's any magic number. Like, I don't believe, oh, on the 4th date you guys have sex, or like on the 10th day. Like, it's just a feeling. Like, when you feel really comfortable with someone, it's just naturally happens. This was not naturally happening. It was just him pushing, and me like like putting up a wall. If you would have just let it organically grow, organically grow. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. This was just like a rant video, I guess. I don't feel like I got anywhere with it, but those are my experiences. I'll see you guys in my next, I guess.